Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another manga chapter review. I am the Rat, and this is the Rat's Nest. I'm joined as always by Kyle. Say hi, Kyle.
Hello, everybody.
And welcome back to another episode of How Much Time Can We Squeeze Out of 11 Pages?
We're probably going to get a lot.
It is probably going to be a lot, if I had to guess.
This was a lot shorter. Typically, they're about 18 chapters, right? 18 is like the average. Sometimes it's longer, sometimes it's shorter.
From like 18 to 20. Sometimes they're a little bit longer,
Yeah.
Sometimes they're a little bit shorter.
That's
Now, completely fair, because we got this chapter over Christmas.
that's
most other places.
not-
One Piece is like chapter break, which, like, Go Oda, I understand. Not entirely his break schedule. It's also the schedule of the magazine, but it's like kind of brutal to be a One Piece fan during that. But Chainsaw Man, Fujimoto provides. He cooks. He provides plentiful amounts.
This was an appetizer. This was an appetizer chapter.
Also, the leaks that I read a week ago after 114. Oh yeah. Also, we're recording this late. What you call it? We're recording this late.
About a day later.
It doesn't matter. We're recording this late. So the leaks I read about a week ago are true. So, like, he was right with 114 and 115. So theoretically, he's also correct with 116. I feel pretty confident that he's correct with 116. Hopefully, because if you've read them, you know it's a good chapter. You know it's going to be probably maybe my favorite chapter of Chainsaw Man. But it's good. So, but now we have 115. We have 115 this week. So let's get into it, shall we?
Let's start it, yeah. So to start with, we have Asa basically recapping what it means to be trapped in the Eternity Devil's power. This is the aquarium from hell. Once you go in, you'll never get out. The hallway goes on endlessly. The clock hands don't move. You can't flush the toilets. And the fish started rotting their tanks yesterday. The thing about that's interesting to me is there are some things that can and can't work within this. Like, with the toilet's not flushing. I don't know. It's just a weird detail, which I guess makes sense since the water can't technically leave.
Yeah. It can't get like to the sewer and everything,
Mm-hmm.
So it makes sense. But yeah, so the fish are dead, they're rotting. Then we get Iseumi, we get fake Sawman, who's not really fake Sawman, as we learned. We'd have escaped right now if you hadn't broken that cell phone your chainsaw, man. Why don't you do something? Asa just looks so done. Good expression, Fujimoto.
Yeah, this was a pretty, like, I like the way that this, like, faker one was handled, of how whenever he was first introduced, you're not like, oh my gosh, he's gonna be such a big player, and he still could be, but just as of now, he immediately addresses the problem. Like, what are your Chainsaw Man? Why don't you do something? And then he just gives the 2 to 3 page spiel about how he's not. I like this section where he's just honest with her. Like, I'm just a big Chainsaw Man fan, and I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, I like the where he said runner-up in the Chainsaw Man quiz show contest. I saw someone say that maybe Denji got first place, but Denji doesn't know Chainsaw Man well enough. Because there'd be a question like, how many devils has Chainsaw Man killed? And Denji would be like, oh, I was supposed to keep track.
I hope that comes up later. I hope that we get to see who the actual winner of the Chainsaw Man quiz show is. He'd probably say something like, Chainsaw Man doesn't keep track of his kills. Chainsaw Man just kills. And they'd be like, wrong. Yeah, he owns every piece of Chainsaw Man merchandise. And yeah, I can't blame you for thinking I was him.
And then you aren't Chainsaw Man. He laughed and he's like, if I were Chainsaw Man, we could have broken out of this hellhole in no time. Just save me, Chainsaw Man. I'm in here. I tell you, it's so... I really like his character. I mean, like, I don't like the character, but like he's written very well.
Do you mean the archetype of it? Like how he's just like the super fan, you mean?
Kinda, yeah. I like how he's like, you can see he's written very well. He's not just one note, and I can really appreciate that.
He was a good red herring character. Assuming this is the end of him being the fake Sawman, because he still could be. He could just be lying to her, as far as we know, because we know that
I don't know if he's lying, but maybe he doesn't even know, right? Maybe he can go fake Sawman mode, but then he loses it, like he can't remember it.
Yeah, again, there could be potential with Fami and Iseumi. We just don't know, and we'll find out We'll find out about maybe more with him later. So moving on
to Yoshida and Denji. Dude, okay.
Oh,
so
God.
I was not mentally prepared to read a comment where someone called Yoshida Josh. I was not ready for that.
Wait,
Called him Josh. He said I really like the way Josh holds his phone. I was like, Josh. I was like, oh, he's talking about Yoshida.
Are we gonna call him Josh from now on?
Dude, yeah, you got the three main characters: Josh, Dennis, and Ashley. Oh my gosh, Josh, dude, I was not ready for him to be called Josh.
Josh is the type of name given to Yoshida if Chainsaw Man got hit with if it got hit with copywriting stuff or whatever, as hard as JoJo would. That's just the JoJo name change for him. So we have Dennis and Josh.
Because that's your cue, Chainsaw Man. Isn't there something you can do? And this just says, I was able to get him last time because he came at us.
Because he appeared physically.
Yeah, and he's like, you got to feed me Chainsaw Man. So like he knew where he was. Dennis has no idea where he is. He said, can't you do something? And Josh is holding the phone, and he's like, you had one too?
Yoshida's just a devious, like, big gremlin man.
Dude, Josh is honestly one of my favorite characters from part 2.
I'm not calling him Josh. I can't.
Funny man.
There's limits, Brandon. Yeah, he says, unfortunately, the signal alone isn't enough to get a call out. It feels like it's been over 3 days. If help hasn't arrived by now, I'm guessing time inside the aquarium has stopped. All the others seem to have given up and they get broke money licking the glass. And honestly, like one of the Twitter things Brandon sent me, given how Kobani reacted in this situation, Brobani is relatively
handling
tame.
it well. Yeah.
Handling it well. Relatively.
Not a rise, just punching, I guess.
He drops the what I would call the biggest part of this chapter. Do you think Chainsaw Man would eat it for us? The Death Devil.
Yeah,
this is very
Death Devil as a concept exists. I don't think it's too far-fetched to say the Death Devil exists, but here we have a name drop. The name drop of the Death Devil, who's just theoretically the strongest devil.
The Grim Reaper almost. Yeah, I that's what I envision it as for now. I think, obviously, on the basic surface level, Yoshida also works for the same place. Oh, guess what? Makima worked for her. Makima, because in one of her intros, it was like war, death, and a lot of other things like Chainsaw Man could eat it for us. We know we are with the War Devil right now. We have the name drop of the Death Devil, so that's just a very interesting connection and a callback to the thing that Makima said about, could Chainsaw Man eat that stuff for us.
It's also, someone pointed out, it's an interesting thing that Yoshida knows that Chainsaw Man eating something, does something. Theoretically, he knows that Chainsaw Man eating stuff erases it, right? But he knows that he knows Chainsaw Man's ability. So, how does he know that?
Yoshida is, I think, the character right now, out of every character we've seen, that's just the most interesting to me of part 2 in terms of
mysterious.
Yeah, the most mysterious. Fami is mysterious is a better word. Fami is very interesting, but Yoshida, mysterious is a better wording for it.
Mm-hmm.
It's why was he at the aquarium? Why does he know all this stuff?
He was at the aquarium because of Dennis.
Well, okay, Brandon, you're right, but you know what I mean. Why is he doing a lot of the things that he is doing? More so than just following Denji for the sake of doing it because that's the place that he works at.
Yeah.
Who knows? This could be Makima's little brother. It could be Bakima, who will probably know. I don't know.
It's just anytime Yoshida is here, you're gonna have a good time. He's just such a fun character. I like him.
He is a very fun character. Joking aside, though, I mean, I'm interested to see more of Yoshida's backstory and how he is where he is, because I think we talked about this before. I forgot that Yoshida was the one who showed up during the Bomb Devil arc.
No, because it's the thing. Yeah, it's before part 2 started. I saw a chart, and there were a couple of these, right? But I saw a chart with all the characters still alive from part 1, and so you had Dennis, Meowie, Kobani, Kishibe, and then you all had with those 3, were the big 3 to survive, right? you had Hirofumi Yoshida, and I was like, who? And I was like, oh, he's that like random guy that was in International Assassins, and like people wanted him to come back, and I was like, I don't get it. I was like, why do people want him to come back? I was like, I guess he was cool. I said, I just don't really care. And then like I remember whenever he showed up, I was like, yo, no freaking way. At first, I thought it might be Dennis, but like a weird Dennis, like he dyed his hair. And I was like, no, that's that Yoshida guy. And now I love him. He might be my favorite Part 2 character. He's just, it's good to see him. He's such a good character.
Mm-hmm.
And really, him showing up in International Assassins is just like a cameo of his role in Part 2, kind of. You know?
Yeah.
It's just one of those like, okay, here's a character I'm introducing now. He's going to come back later and actually do stuff. Cool. Dude, and so Chainsaw Man anime just finished up. So we're probably getting International Assassins next season. It's going to be so hype when Yoshida shows up.
Okay, the ultimate high point to the Darkness Double.
Well, yeah.
It has to be, yeah.
But Josh.
I'm excited to see the internet's reaction to that.
Alrighty, I think we've gotten some good mileage out of these 2 pages. Okay.
Yeah.
So
now to the. Oh, sorry.
I'm gonna say we see Asa sitting in her little thing, and Dennis goes, "The others are all starting to lose it. You holding up okay?" And she's just like, "I'm hungry." So eat some fish. I can't eat fish. Oh yeah. And then she's just silent. I tell you,
Fujimoto doing the thing where he draws the panel over and over, but it's.
But like I think it works really well for Asa. Because like I was reading this earlier, like I think it works really well for her because it like shows like her awkwardness, you know.
Mm-hmm. It lets you linger on the amount of time that she's just sitting there.
And then she goes, "I'm sorry for asking you on a date. It's my fault you got mixed up in this. You won't understand this, but I was trying to turn you into a weapon, but even cornered and starving like this, I just can't do it. Not because I don't have the guts or because it goes against my principles. The real reason I can't is because I have no idea what's right or wrong. My life is just one long string of attempts to avoid making mistakes. That's why I'm a total bore." This is interesting. We get to see a bit of Asa's perspective here. Right?
Yeah, no, just getting a little bit of insight because I think it's very interesting that that's like the conclusion of it. Because again, the reason I thought so beforehand was like, oh, she didn't want to do like basically what she said, like she didn't because it went against her principles, but. After dying, then coming back, she's been involved in a lot of, morally questionable stuff that's occurred, and she just is thrust into the situation like Dennis was in Part 1, and just honestly does not have an answer. Just not knowing, just kind of being like thrust in aimlessly. It's kind of a sad thing to see her reflect on.
She doesn't know, like, is it right to turn Dennis into a weapon to get rid of Yoru or to help kill Chainsaw Man, right? And who even is Chainsaw Man even anymore? So it's her just trying to basically just like not offend anyone, right? And so she's not interested because she always takes the safest options, right? She never takes risks. She never does anything.
And that's why it all ties back into her being so boring. And then we see Dennis is too good for her.
Very iconic panel at this point. I would think this is going to become a pretty iconic. Them sitting in the aquarium together. It's one of those panels that like you just kind of see, and like maybe not so much Dennis revealing himself to Asa, which I might say is the most iconic panel of Part 2 so far.
Wholesome. It's very wholesome.
It's a good one. What are you muttering to yourself about? You can't eat fish, right? Tada, ever tried starfish? Dude, this is the moment that Dennis became a Rizzsaw man.
This is the moment that he offered Asa a starfish to eat.
That's so true. Dude. Dennis trying not to. Dennis doing the rizz up a woman who wants to secretly kill you challenge. Impossible.
He's done that
twice. He's done it twice. But he pulled up the same tada that he used it with Reze or Ri. How do you say that? Is it Reze? I think it's
Rizzy. It's Rizzy.
No, it is Rizzy. She does have Riz. She has a lot of Riz. But now Dennis has Riz, dude. I did not expect Dennis to have Riz.
Well, I mean, granted, when you put anyone next to Asa, it's kind of hard not to.
Yeah,
think
it's like yeah.
Yeah.
It's like it doesn't matter. Any light shines bright when it's put against total darkness.
Yeah, and that was pretty much it for chapter 115. I can't honestly. I know you stuck. What happens next? I just legit like after this, I don't know where it's gonna go because it ended on like a wholesome moment. So I assume something really big and crazy is gonna happen next chapter. You said that it might be your favorite chapter of part 2 if what happens happens. I'm looking forward to seeing what it is, and you'll have to
specifically. There's some stuff said that I'm like, okay.
Like info dump, you mean? Not like a negative way, but just like an info dump that's just like whoa. Is that it? Almost.
No.
Okay. Well, I'll have to wait. Can you send me the original link after I read the chapter next week?
Yeah, I got you. I have the image saved, so first I have to see if it's even accurate, if 116, because I mean, as unlikely as it is possible the guy knew 114 and 115 and just decided to make up 116.
As far as we know,
it's unlikely. 116 is likely going to be as he said it is, which is pretty poggers. But yeah, no, it was a good chapter. I really enjoyed it. Obviously, Chainsaw Man is always phenomenal, and we get another chapter next time, and it's probably going to be longer given the spoilers.
Awesome. It'll make up for it. Which again, not in a mean way. It was Christmas, having a smaller chapter. This was a good stepping stone chapter. We got some fun Yoshida nonsense with him being like, "Oh, I had a phone, lol," and asking about the Death Devil. We got the nice moment with Dennis and Ashley. So yeah, it was nice. It was a nice chapter.
Yeah. So any last thoughts, Kyle?
How much mileage did we get out of the 11 pages?
We got 17 minutes. Technically 16 right now. It'll be 17.
I'll take it.
All right, so if you're this far in the video, obviously there's something you like. So make sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment telling us which Josh moment has been your favorite so far. We will see you next time on Sunday with... No, we won't actually, because One Piece is on break this week. So that sucks. So something will go up on Sunday. Maybe Berserk, maybe something else. I don't know. I have a couple of things I could upload. I'll figure it out. I'll figure out something. Maybe Dragon Ball. It'll probably be Dragon Ball. So Dragon Ball on Sunday, and then we'll be back with Chainsaw Man next week. And we will see you all then. Hope you enjoyed, and bye-bye.
Bye.